So, Gay, I have known you for a very, very long time. We have been, since I've been running Prepper website, I have been linking to your articles. I think I've linked to almost every article that you have written that wasn't a review, that wasn't a book review, because I don't do that normally for anybody. But I think I've linked to every single article. And then you went and you retired on me. So that's great. I'm glad you've been able to do that. But what's retirement been like for you?
Well, it's been a learning experience in and of itself. For someone who has worked and mostly been self employed my entire working career, the shock
Normally
of
for
waking up in the
anybody.
morning and not
But I
having
think I've linked
time
to every
when
single
I
article. And
that took a long time to get used to it. But overall, I'm loving my new life. I'm doing some volunteer work as a dancer, performing at senior centers around the area. I get to sleep in. I get to do what I want to do. I still dabble online with my current website, Strategic Living Blog, and I guess my new job is to have fun 24 by 7.
that's awesome. You deserve it, right? You
I
deserve
hope so.
it. So
So
it's fun to see those, all those pictures that you share about that you're dancing and you're dressing up. I think those are great. You're having a great time. At the same time, you're still putting out content out there at strategiclivingblog.com. And so we greatly appreciate it. One of the things that you are known for, and I know you don't consider yourself a guru, but one of the things you're known for is essential oils. Now, I got to tell this funny story just really quickly. I don't know if I've told you this one before, but we were at church, and I have people at church that believe in essential oils, and some they do their own, they make their own, and all that good stuff. One of my parishioners was talking about a salve that helped with blood pressure. Well, I was like, all right, well, let me know which one it is so I can share it on my website because I'd love to be able to share that. And then she sent me the email, and it was backdoor survivals. It was a backdoor survival article, and I'm like, I know that I linked to this at some point, but I linked to so many I couldn't even remember it. But it was funny that she was like, this is a backdoor survival article, and I'm like, man, I know that I've linked to that one before. So that was funny that has gone full circle, at least for me. So I'm not gonna talk anymore because I want to shut up because I hate when people interview others and they talk so much. And really everyone is here to see you. So share with us about essential oils. I know that you're gonna do that for now and when SHTF. So take it away.
okay, where do I start? I've been using essential oils since 1989 when I was introduced to them by a massage therapist during my boating days. We were on vacation, we had a massage, and the therapist brought these scents out and said, "Do you mind if I use essential oils?" So, long story short, before they became mainstream, I started studying essential oils and buying them, one by one, and kind of experimenting. And like most people, I started with lavender, used it as an antiseptic, used it to help me sleep, and I guess the world of essential oils for me exploded from there. When I first talk about essential oils to people who are interested in learning more, I'd like to break the essential oils down into three major categories. And there's subcategories under each that I'll explain, but let me lay those out. The first is first aid. And this would include a replacement for all those over the counter remedies that you spend lots of money on and they never work. Over the counter remedies, lotions, potions, skincare products. I lump all of that into first aid. The second category, which is really, really important for prepper types and those that are concerned about staying healthy for the long term, is immunity support. And that involves all of those things you need to do to ensure that you don't catch flu, you don't get colds from people, you don't, you do maintain a toxic free environment in your home and in your workplace. can. And in that category, not only do I include an immunity support blend of essential oils, but also do-it-yourself cleaning products and also household products such as laundry soap, everything along those types of things, the things you use to take care of your house. And then finally, the last category represents essential oil use as an alternative to traditional medicine. I guess this may be the more esoteric, more complicated category because everyone is going to have different ailments and they're going to have different needs in terms of the medications that they want to replace using a more natural solution in the way of essential oils. So in my case, the alternative medicine or the alternative use of essential oils to replace traditional medicines would be the blood pressure staff that you talked about, and also because I'm not a young chick anymore, joint and muscle pain. And let me tell you, let me warn anyone approaching retirement, you can make yourself more comfortable, but this arthritis that we all know about, it never goes away. And so if you can use essential oils rather than some of those very, very strong pharmaceuticals that are out there to control the uncomfortable feeling you get, then by all means, that's the way to go. There's all kinds of formulas and remedies you can use as an alternative to traditional medicine. Digestive aids, that's a real big one. You know, something to take care of the heartburn or the gas and that sort of thing. So, you know, it's kind of an A to Z type of thing. I do not promote essential oils as a cure for cancer. I'll leave that to someone else who is a medical professional and has real firsthand experience with that sort of thing. I think that gets into a little woo-woo for me personally because I'm not a healthcare professional, so I'm not going to promote that sort of thing. So those are the categories. I use essential oils in all three of those areas, and for those of you that have been following me for a lot of years, you will know that if you look at the myriad of articles I've written, those are the things I write about when it comes to essential oils.
Awesome. Well, the whole joint pain thing, I mean, you know, I'm a little bit younger than you, but hey, I'm feeling that one too. So that's great. What I love about your articles is you break things down very easy so people can understand them and people can follow along and do exactly what you've done, and so you make it very easy. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to let you continue talking about those categories and just let you keep talking about how we can use those as those of us who are preppers, self-reliant, how we can start to apply them in our lives.
Okay. Well, I think the number one question that people have is, what are the essential oils I need to have in my kit? And would be very easy for me to tell the truth and say I probably have maybe 30, 40, 50 different oils. But at the end of the day, there's probably no more than 20 I use on a regular basis. And of those 20, 6 fall into that alternative to traditional medicine category, and they're very specific to me. So really, I would say that anyone and everyone could have an effective essential oil arsenal with just 5 oils and a couple of blends. And let me tell you what those are. The oils are lavender, rosemary, peppermint, melaleuca, which is also known as tea tree. So I'll call it tea tree because most people know it by that name, and oregano. And lavender is, I'm not going to say it's a mild oil because it's very potent, but it's pleasing to smell. It's an antiseptic. It is calming. It is healing in terms of, cuts and scrapes and that sort of thing. And it's an anti-inflammatory Swiss Army knife. I think that's what's called, Swiss Army knife of essential oils. And as with the rest on this list, you can purchase a small bottle. This here is not lavender, but this is a little bottle. It's called 5 milliliters. It might last someone 6 months to a year. You can buy this for $6 from a quality brand, and it's just going to last you. And you know, if you have nothing else to go, this is what I carry in my car, for example. My car, my automobile, my mobile device. Rosemary and peppermint are the next two on my list. The combination of lavender, rosemary, and peppermint are the three oils in equal quantities that are put into what everyone knows as my miracle healing salve. And that is a go-to replacement for almost any over-the-counter topical first aid product you would want to buy in the drugstore. It's also used as a nail cuticle cream. You can use it as a massage oil. It's good for aches and pains. It just pretty much is an all-purpose, everything combination of oils that you can put together, make it up into a salve, keep it in your bathroom medicine cabinet, carry some with you, put in your desk drawer, and you can use it for almost everything. So that is why I always recommend that someone include those three oils. Peppermint. Let's talk about peppermint as a special case. Peppermint is going to be one of your top oils to use as a bug repellent in your home. Here in Arizona, we have scorpions. That's one thing that we didn't have in Washington State. I don't like scorpions very much, but what people here do is they take, what people in the know do, they'll take a little cotton ball, and put 3 or 4 drops of peppermint on the cotton ball, and scatter them in their cupboards and around, you know, their baseboards and in their closets and in their drawers. And this tends to repel the scorpions and other little bugs that you tend to have in a hot and humid climate. Tea tree oil is an antiseptic, and it is antimicrobial. It'll kill bacteria, which makes it ideal as a wound healer. You add some tea tree oil to the miracle salve, and remember that's lavender, rosemary, peppermint, and you pretty much have a replacement for Neosporin. And how cool is that?
That's cool.
And finally, oregano. Oregano is nature's antibiotic, and it too is germ fighting, but it kicks things up a notch from tea tree oil. As a matter of fact, it is so powerful that you can't take a dab and put it on your skin directly because it'll burn your skin. That said, if you have, let's say, a tooth abscess or some pain in your mouth, you could take a tablespoonful of coconut oil, add 1 or 2 drops of oregano oil, and I won't say gargle, but kind of swish it around your mouth for 5 or 10 minutes. Do that 2 or 3 times daily for 3 or 4 days, and your problem's going to go away. And I have a personal story relating to that, in that I had a root canal, and about a month later, I had severe pain. So my endodontist was on vacation, and so I went in, saw his partner, and he says, you know, you have to come in Monday, and he's going to have to redo the whole thing. Well, he was, I think, he's Indian. He was somewhere. And I came in the following Monday, told him what I'd been doing with the oregano and the coconut oil, and all my pain was gone. And he did kind of like a hint, hint, wink, wink. I'm not supposed to tell you this, but in my world, oregano is an antibiotic without all of the severe ramifications of antibiotic resistance. Go home. You don't need another root canal. Save your money. go have a glass of wine and, go back to your essential oil. So oregano is something that, in my opinion, should be in everyone's stuff hits the fan kit. Because you just never know when you're going to have some sort of suspected problem. And of course, you don't want to take antibiotics indiscriminately, so why not try an essential oil for a few days? And if you start to find some relief, more power to you.
Especially tooth pain, man. Now that is, I've had that before, where I've had an abscess, and that was very, very painful. So being able to, I mean, luckily we're in a time now where you can go to the dentist, you can go to doctors, you can have all that if you choose to do that. But yeah, you're right. If you're in a situation where there's no doctor, where there's no hospital, where there's no dentist, I mean, what are you going to do? And an abscess and an infection, I mean, mine was pretty severe. I needed some strong antibiotics. What are you going to do? You're going to allow that infection to go ahead and do you in when you can do something like what you're talking about? I mean, I think that's pretty powerful.
Well, even in normal times, a root canal is about $1,800. And you may need a crown after that, which is probably another $700 or $800. So think about having an opportunity to resolve the issue yourself and take that money and buy other preps. Makes sense to me.
Big savings, definitely. All right, so here's the thing. I mean, we always talk about expiration dates in the preparedness community. Do essential oils, do they expire?
There's some controversy around that. I've been told that the citrus oils do deteriorate over time. I don't use citrus oils too much. I like to use wild orange in my diffuser blends. But I date everything. Just like my food storage, I date the day it arrives in my home. I am still opening bottles of essential oil from 2012, and they are fine. Now, granted, they were stored in a relatively cool climate in Washington State for a number of years, but I've been in Arizona now almost 3 years, and because I'll use the word thrifty, I keep my home between 80 and 85 degrees with the AC. And I am not experiencing any issues with my oils. I think more important is that you do find a spot where you can keep them where it's cool and dark. Well, one thing I wanted to tell you, especially right now, because there's a lot of fake oils out there, that's another subject. Your oils, wherever you buy them, should come in dark bottles, typically a dark amber or a cobalt blue, and that's going to be the dark part. Where you really have a problem with oils, in my opinion, is not with your stored oils, but once they're open, especially if you put a dropper, like a medicine dropper top on them.
Yep.
There's a chance that the oil will escape up through the top into the air, and the air come back in as well. And they may deteriorate if that happens. I've only had that happen to one oil, and it was myrrh. And I hadn't used it very much, but apparently that product is known to crystallize, and that's exactly what happened to me. So your mileage may vary. I've had really, really good luck storing oils, and those 5 oils I just mentioned, I probably have 6 bottles of each in my backstop. In addition, I have 2 blends, and I don't want to forget about telling you about blends. There are 2 blends that I keep for emergency purposes, for a disruptive event, for the world turning upside down. One is an immunity or protective blend. Some of you may know that as Thieves or Thieves-like oil. I happen to use products from Spark Naturals, and I use their product called Shield. One of the latest posts I put up on my site was a DIY how instead of buying a proprietary blend, you can make it yourself. And that's always an option, although I ran the numbers, and unless you happen to own all of the 5 oils in that blend to begin with, it's much more cost effective to buy a blend. And like I said, I feel that any reputable essential oil company will have their own version. The other oil blend that I use is a digestive blend, and I touched upon this earlier. I don't get heartburn very often, but sometimes I get gassy and bloated and I'm uncomfortable. Or I'll eat some green onions or something and I'll start burping a lot. A digestive blend, you blend it, right here on the tummy, and chances are that's going to take care of your problem very quickly. And again, I use a Spark Naturals blend called Digest, but there's others out there. And so far, not yet, but I haven't come up with an effective DIY, but I'll keep going.
Awesome. Okay, well, there's 2 things that you've kind of mentioned. First of all, and I don't know if you feel comfortable talking about this or not, but there are different kinds of essential oil brands out there, and we might not want to talk about any whatever. We might not want to talk negatively about any brands. But are there some that you would recommend that if someone was getting into essential oils, that they would go, and for sure that you're not going to go wrong? Because I know, I mentioned this before, that my local grocery store, we have like a superstore, and they have a bunch of different things, and they have a little section for healthcare and organic stuff, and they have some essential oils there. But some of those brands I've never heard of. They have just like a big selection of different brands. So if I was getting into essential oils for the very first time, what brands would you suggest? What would you recommend?
Okay. Well, obviously Spark Naturals, because I use them and I know the owner and I know their head of customer service, and all of my followers who have bought from them really like them. But there's a lot of good alternatives. And a good alternative, another company that has their own site and also sells on Amazon, is Plant Therapy. Another one that is well priced along the lines of Plant Therapy and Spark Naturals is Eden's Garden. They have a huge assortment of, they have hundreds. They also have a very, very good site in terms of what they do to try to educate you about essential oils. Now, I'm pretty sure that all 3 of those companies offer free shipping when you buy direct, regardless of the size of the order. And I'm talking about in the U.S. I don't know about outside the U.S. And all 3 do also sell on Amazon.com. The 2 big names in essential oils, the 2 big pioneering companies that have really good quality oils are doTERRA and Young Living. But you're going to pay a premium for those oils. They're sold through independent distributors, and they're what's called a multi-level marketing company. So the higher up the plateau, the more people you have under you, and everyone gets a cut. They also have required minimum orders unless you want to pay a lot more than someone else might pay. I don't really like that. I think it's like a pair of shoes. You walk into your store to buy a pair of shoes, and everyone pays the same thing unless it's on sale, and everyone pays the same sale price. So, just personally, I have a distaste for that, and as a result, I don't use those 2 brands. There's one other brand that I want to mention. This is a brand I use. They are sold in drugstores, Whole Foods, and some locations like that. They're not, in my opinion, as potent, but they are 100% pure, and they're good oils. I use them in my cleaning products. The company is called Now Foods. They're very, very budget friendly. But would I use them for healing and wellness? No, I don't think I would. I just, it's just a thing with me. But I'll use them in my diffuser all day long. And as I practice making diffuser blends, I'll usually pull out my now oils because they're very, very budget friendly. Two things that I want to point out. How do you know if your oil is good? I am not a chemist. I don't do my own testing. There are some testing sites. Any of the companies that I've just talked about, if you give them a call, they will provide you with tests on their current batches of oils, and those tests will be oil specific. But if you don't want to go to that far, like I said, this is a 5 milliliter bottle. Depending on the oil for this little bottle, you can expect to pay, let's say, $6 or $7 up to even $25 or $30 for something like frankincense or heliochrysum or something really expensive, which you notice it's not on my list. For that same $6 to $10, if you're on Amazon and you're going to get a bottle this big, you can bet that's going to be a fake oil. And here's the other thing. You may see a whole bunch of positive reviews for that oil on Amazon. Well, there's a website, I wish I had the URL right now. It's called Fake or Not, or Is It Fake? You can type in the name of the product or give it the Amazon link, and it'll take a couple minutes, but they'll run a little analysis of all of the thousands of comments for that product and grade that product as to whether they think the reviews are real or fake. Now, I know Amazon is trying to do a good job of taking down fake reviews. And just to know how this analysis works, we'll look for similar wording in, let's say, 300 different reviews have exactly the same wording. They will take those and mark those an F. And that's exactly the same way Amazon is trying to crack down on the fake reviews when it comes to essential oils. But then there's one other thing I want to tell you about. Take your bottle of oil and smell it. It should smell good. It should smell clean and fresh. And, you may not like the scent because maybe you don't prefer lemon or you don't like peppermint or some people don't like lavender, but it still should smell good. I once bought one of those great big bottles on Amazon just to see what it was. It was a bottle of lavender. And they're now being sued for false advertising because they're now considered totally fake. It smelled like paint thinner. If you get an oil like that, even from one of the main companies, a good company is going to replace it for you. And of course, if you get one of those from Amazon, just take advantage of their return policy and they'll refund your money. So 2 things: price, if it's too good to be true, it probably is a fake. And 2, it should smell good.
Awesome. A lot of great information. So let me ask you a question. You've talked a little bit about, using essential oils like, with the coconut oil and the oregano and blends and different things like that. How would someone, other than a cut, like you were referencing lavender and those, how would someone use essential oils on their body? Let's just say, other than a muscle rub or something like that, that you would put it on the joints. How would you utilize that?
So are you referring to like a first aid product or a skincare? I guess you're asking me that question. Well, first of all, if you're going to put it on your body just, because you want to feel good and, maybe you have some dry skin and you want to resolve that, what you're going to want to do is dilute that essential oil, and a common dilution rate would be 2 to 5%. Now, what does that mean? Well, 2% would be 12 drops per ounce. 5% would be 30 drops per ounce. If you really, really had something severe and wanted to kick it up, you could take it to 10%, but I certainly would try the 2 to 5% first. And although I don't use commercial lotions or creams, you could just take the hand cream that you use all the time, measure out an ounce, add, your 5 drops and your 12 drops rather, and try that. Aloe Vera Gel is a great carrier. And by the way, what we're talking about here is carrier oil. So you have your oil and you have your carrier. Your carrier could be an over-the-counter lotion. It could be something you make yourself. It could be a salve, and the base salve that I recommend is made with coconut oil, olive oil, and some beeswax pellets to give it some substance. Another good carrier oil that's really, really easy to make is coconut oil and aloe vera gel. The nice thing about that combination, let's say a 50-50 combination that you mix up with a little whisk, is you don't have to cook it to melt the beeswax to make it thick. So that's an option. I didn't talk about allergies because I don't have allergies, but a lot of people do. And what they will do is take lavender and peppermint, put it in what's called a roller ball, which is like a little 10 milliliter vessel with a little ball on top. They'll add their drops of oil and then top it off with, again, a carrier oil. Most people would use liquid coconut oil. You could use olive oil. Personally, I don't think that's a very elegant solution, but you could use sweet almond oil. There's an oil called jojoba oil. There's all kinds of oils. And while I'm mentioning carrier oils, if you do want to buy a liquid carrier oil online, I only use one brand, all right? I use one brand almost 90% of the time, and that is Plant Therapy. And you can buy that brand directly from your site or from Amazon.com, free shipping. Very reasonably priced and really a quality oil, carrier oil for your essential oils.
So Plant Therapy, that's the essential oil. I'm sorry, the carrier oil. Is there another, that's the brand. Is that the oil itself?
No. Plant Therapy is a brand of essential oils, and then to support their essential oil business, they sell what I'm calling carrier oils. So carrier oil could be sweet almond oil. It could be what's called fractionated coconut oil. And that is coconut oil that's been treated with heat so that it will remain liquid at all times. It's not for internal use. You can't cook with it. Extra virgin olive oil is a carrier oil, but again, it's not real elegant to put on your skin plain. Jojoba oil is another wonderful carrier oil. It mimics the sebum in your natural skin and also has an extremely long shelf life. And so it's a beautiful golden oil. For skincare products, there's something called rosehip seed oil. It's a more pricey oil, but it's a wonderful, nourishing, anti-aging oil for your skin. And again, using those dilution rates, which I also have on my website, the dilution rates, let's say 2%. 12 drops of your essential oil or combination of oils per 1 ounce, and mix it up with some rosehip oil, and your skin is going to start to look really radiant. There's more carrier oils than I have ever used myself. So I can only talk about those that I've used and like, and those are my favorites.
All right. Well, you've talked a lot about the blends and all that kind of stuff. You did mention diffusing, and I noticed your diffuser back there in the back. So can you tell us a little bit about why someone would want to diffuse? Is it just to smell, make our house smell nice or our room smell nice? Is there any benefit to it?
Well, there is that. After all, they do call it aromatherapy, which has to do with smell. But the diffuser will take your essential oils and break them down into teeny tiny little, I'm not a scientist, but they're teeny tiny little molecules that you will breathe. And in breathing these little tiny particles, you will be ingesting essential oils in a very safe and pleasant way. Even while you're sleeping, you can ingest essential oils through your nose by having a diffuser running. You can run essential oils through a diffuser for calming, for sleep, for anxiety. I like to take a combination that I make up. A combination that includes these oils that I, these 5 oils, just 5 oils and blends I recommended, and make what's called a cold and flu balm. And this time of year, I take that blend of oils and I put them in the diffuser at night while I'm sleeping. If I feel like, you know, I'm getting a little sniffly and I just want to make sure that my immune system can fight the bugs that are out there this time of year, I'll run the diffuser at night. My husband has trouble sleeping, so I make up a blend called Dream Blend. That's over on my website. It does include oils that are not in the top 5, but it's a very, very effective way to get to sleep and stay asleep. I run my diffusers. I have, maybe in this house, I probably have 6 different diffusers, and I use them for different things. They're also really, something I mentioned earlier, those oils from Now Foods. I make up a blend that is kind of a disinfecting blend for weird household odors. We all have them, especially if you're living in an air-conditioned home and your windows are closed. The house can get very, very stale. So a lot of times, the first thing in the morning, I will run this healthy home blend, I think is what I call it. I call it something like that. But again, the diffuser will not only make your house smell good, but it will also be antimicrobial. It'll get rid of the bacteria that are lingering in your home. What I'm diffusing tonight is something called, I call it, this is my own name, I call it Rise and Shine Sunshine, because it gets me up in the morning, but it's also really good at bringing clarity of thought and clear thinking. So I thought I need that tonight. And it's 12 drops of orange, 12 drops of rosemary, and 8 drops of peppermint. And that's what I'm diffusing tonight.
Awesome. All right. Well, you said the cold and flu balm, and you said the dream blend, and those are on the blends are on your website. So if anybody wants to go,
you know, I need to do a better job of getting some of my older Factor Survival essential oil articles updated to current times and out on my current site. I will make a note here to get the cold and flu balm.
well, I think that the cold and flu, that really spoke to me because, my wife has the sniffles the last couple of days, and we are going in. People know that I work in education, so this morning, as my son was going out to school, I reminded him, be careful what you're touching, wash your hands. If you can't wash your hands, hit it with gel, all that good stuff. Don't touch your face, with your hands, all that kind of stuff. So other than diffusing the cold and flu balm, right, are there any other things that we can do? Shield, if we were to put Shield on, which is Thieves, Sparks Naturals version of Thieves, and I do diffuse Shield at work when it gets to around this time. What else can we do for that? I know we're not doctors, we're not saying anything, just what kinds of things can we do just to maybe help give us an advantage so that we don't get the cold and flu nasties if we can.
Well, you can mix, and I'm sorry, I have to go to my little recipe cards every time I make up the blends. But the cold and flu balm includes, I believe, in addition to Shield or the immunity blend, it includes, I think, tea tree, lavender. There may be something else in there, but what I do is put it in a roller ball bottle, top it with my carrier, and we've already talked about carriers. I tend to use the liquid coconut oil and drop the roller ball, the little ball part on top, and then in the morning and at night before I go to bed, I run that along the bottoms of my feet, or even better, across your tummy. Now there's a lot, let me just expand upon that a little bit, because 99 out of 100 websites will say, put these remedies on the balls of your feet. But now think about it. Your feet, the balls of your feet the skin is very thick. So even though they say there's big pores there, they're going to get absorbed. The oils are going to get absorbed, but it's going to take a while. And not only that, you're getting ready in the morning and you're going to put on your socks or your shoes. And where is some of that oil going? It's going inside of your shoes and socks. So after doing some research, I read that a better way would be to rub it on your tummy. And I've got to tell you, it absorbs so quickly that now I'm recommending, if you take one of these do-it-yourself remedies, whether it's the Miracle Healing Salve or the Cold and Flu Balm, which I promise to put up my site the next couple of weeks, rub it along your tummy. And I really think that is a better way to apply it. One other thing, when you take your shield, something I do, and I don't have a sample here to show you, is to take a little spray bottle. This would be great for your son. Take a little spray bottle. You can buy them like, I don't know, $1 each or something at Walmart. And I'm talking about a little, narrow like that. Put your shield, put some shield in, top it with alcohol-free witch hazel. And after going to the restroom or being around sports equipment or opening doors or just sitting at a desk that he normally doesn't sit at, just get out a little squirt bottle, squirt it, do it on your hands. It's far better for you than a sanitizer gel. And it really smells kind of nice. It's not sticky. How many times have you used a hand sanitizer and you come out and your hands are just sticky, gross? The sanitizer is very sticky. So that's another use, is to make up a little spray bottle of your essential oil topped with witch hazel. Witch hazel is a wonderful thing, and it's very inexpensive. You can buy it at Walmart.
So how many drops of that Shield would you put in there and before you top it off?
Ooh, and that would be a strong dilution. I would probably put in 15 to 30.
Okay. All right. Because I do have the spray bottles, so I can make that up tonight, actually. So that's good. Good to know.
I carry that in my handbag, in my backpack, because you just never know. You just never know.
Awesome. All right. So tell us something else about essential oils that gets on your nerves, that you hear out there that you haven't talked about already. Something that you just wish other people would just get. It's so important that you wish that they would get.
Well, that's a tough one, Todd. The fake oils. The fake oils is really driving me crazy, because people are going to buy them, use them, not get any results, and just throw them away, set them aside, and said this essential oil stuff is just snake oil by a bunch of crazy oilers. That's what they call it, oilers. That drives me crazy. I guess the other thing that drives me crazy is that a lot of people think they have to make a major investment and buy 20, 30, 40 different oils, when the reality is they're never going to use some of them. There's so much overlap in oils that 3 different oils might do the same sort of thing. So you have to decide which one works best for you. And if you start with the lowest end, let's say lavender, and that is the job, why go spend money on a $20 oil that's going to accomplish the same thing? What else drives me crazy? I guess, I probably shouldn't say this, but it would be the doTERRA evangelist. I have found everyone that sells Young Living to be very interested in educating you and not at all pushy about selling you essential oils. But boy, these doTERRA ladies. I post articles on my website, and has gone on since the bachelor survival days. They get out there and boy, they spam my comments with all of their links and why their oils are the best and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? There is no one best company, period. There's something for everyone. Everyone has a different budget. Everyone has different needs. Everyone has, you know, they either want to buy online, they may want to go to a store. I mean, everyone is different. And it drives me crazy to have someone say, these are the best oils and these are the only ones you should use.
I think that's why it was so important for me to ask about, which ones, what are the better ones out there? Because, there are several out there that are really great. And of course, with people pinching pennies and you want to get the best deal. So that was great. So where would someone go other than your website to find great information about essential oils? Like if they wanted to research, because you can go on Google and you don't know where you're going, right? If you're kind of new to this and you're looking for blends or you're looking for how to do things, you could get a lot of crazy stuff out there. So are there some websites that you recommend or maybe a book that you recommend that has good information for people looking up essential oil information?
Okay. I have a hard time recommending one website over another, and that's probably because I've done this so long that I've become accustomed to kind of using my own intuition plus the advice from one or two books that I trust. And so I think I can't really recommend another website. There are plenty out there. If I can say anything about the websites you go to, if they're just listing a bunch of stuff and they don't make it upfront and personal, move on. There's plenty of websites out there like mine that will talk about the oil. They will talk about how they use it. They may include a personal picture, they may not. That's kind of a personal thing. But if they start to talk about it and they say, this happened and it was good, this is how I used it, it was not so good, I have some recommended places to buy the oil, that's good or bad. I mean, everyone online is entitled to make a buck now and then. So I don't downplay a site because of that. But if they make it personal, if they tell their story and they're believable and you can connect with them, then give their concoction, their blend to try and see how it goes. So that, but book-wise, this book, I don't know if you can see it, it's called The Complete Book of Essential Oils and Aromatherapy by Valerie Ann Warwood. This is the second edition of this book. Back in 1989 or 90, I bought the first edition. And how did I become an essential oils advocate? My husband had tendinitis. So I looked up in the book, and Valerie had a formula. This is going to surprise a lot of you. That formula was equal parts lavender, rosemary, and peppermint. He used it on his tendinitis. I mixed it at the time with sweet olive oil, and it worked really, really well. So I started using it on little cuts and scrapes, and we were boaters, and we were always getting our arms shaved, and we were always a mess. A couple years later, my husband was having his first full knee replacement. So I march into the doctor, and I say, okay, what's this scar going to be like? And he says, well, you're going to have a scar, and probably be there forever, but over years, it's going to go away. And I said, I'm going to make up a blend of essential oils, and we're going to put it on the scar a few times a day. Is that okay? The old roll the eyes. This is 1991 or 92, remember? And rolled the eyes and said, okay. So I took the lavender, peppermint, and rosemary. I think I added it to an over-the-counter cream as well as to some sweet almond oil, and I dutifully rubbed it onto the scar. So a few weeks later, I decided to accompany my husband, Shelley, back to his doctor, and his doctor's looking at his knee, and he said, what was it your wife was using on your scar? And it turned him into a believer. So that is the story of how the miracle healing staff got started. This book by Valerie Ann Warwood, and I looked up tendonitis and came up with this formula. These days, when I have something and I'm trying to come up with a blend, I'll look it up in here, I'll look up the oils she recommends and kind of pick and choose, you know, how many drops of this and how many drops of that will work for the problem I'm trying to solve. I think I did something similar with sinus infection. Someone I know had a sinus infection. So I kind of came up with a blend that I put together using this book, and it resolved the problem. So I was happy about that.
Awesome. I'm going to have to get that name from you, or when I can write it down and share that.
Over on your Facebook page.
Definitely. Definitely. Okay. All right. Well, Peggy had a question on the website or on the Facebook, and she asked, "What about oils to clean kitchen or bathrooms, like in SHTF situation? Lemon tea tree instead of commercial cleaners." What would you say to her?
Okay, I would say, don't wait for a stuff hits the fan situation. Start now. You want to remove those toxic chemicals, sorry, I had to say that are in over-the-counter cleaning products and start using your essential oils. You want to do that now. You're going to save a ton of money, but more important, you're going to learn how to use them now before that's the only thing you have. I use my essential oils with liquid Castile soap. There's a couple brands out there. I happen to use Dr. Bronner's. And Dr. Bronner's has a dilution table. I think it's 2 tablespoons of liquid Castile soap per 16-ounce spray bottle. I'll usually add 10 or 20 drops of Shield. I use that a lot. Sometimes I use oregano. It depends on what's going on around the house. And use that spray cleaner for everything. So yes, definitely start now. You can use some, if you want to just experiment, take my recommendation. Go buy some Now Foods oils. They're really inexpensive for a good sized bottle. You won't be using your more expensive oils as you're learning to experiment to clean around the house using essential oils. I do not use a commercial toilet cleaner. I do not use a commercial window cleaner. In fact, for cleaning windows, I use club soda. Works great on your stainless as well. I make my own cleaner for kitchen counters, bathroom counters, floors. Peppermint oil is excellent. Peppermint oil and water will do a great job of cleaning either your hardwood or your tile floors. You just have to get out there and start experimenting, and you are going to be amazed. And you're going to save a ton of money that you can use for your food preps or for water filters or for something else that you want to put away for the long term.
Awesome. So that's good advice. I know that we share out a lot of articles on that on Prepper website on how you can make your own DIY cleaners, and you can save a lot of money that way. So that's good to hear. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end it off. There was a special treat that I was able to share with everyone on the email list, and also on those that were on the event list, that you provided, your book, Prepper's Food Store Guide to Food Storage, was free online for the Kindle version on Amazon. Is there anything you want to tell us a little bit about that? I mean, you not only deal with essential oils, you've done a lot of preparedness out there. So as people are picking up this free book, and I actually put a link in the description of this video, tell us a little bit about that book and maybe how it came about as people are going to get that.
Okay. Food storage, food and water were, anyway, sorry. Food and water were probably the two things that I wanted to take care of first when I first started prepping. I wasn't always a prepper. I started about 2010. So, I'm not a survivalist from way back when. This was kind of a new thing for me. And over time, I kind of learned what worked and what didn't work. And when it came to food storage, I wanted to do as much on my own myself before I ventured out into buying prepackaged, freeze-dried meal pouches and number 10 tins of individual ingredients. So over time, with a lot of trial and experiments, I developed some strategies for storing food that involve what to store, how to store it, how to package it, what are the best foods to store if you have a limited budget and a limited amount of space. And out of that came a series of blog articles, and from those blog articles came this book, The Prepper's Guide to Food Storage. There's some material in the book that is not on the website, but even if it's on a website, who's going to print out all those articles when you can have a nice little ebook? And, I don't want to hear that we won't have ebooks when there's no power, because you can buy, I think now for $25, a little solar charger that will keep all of your electronic devices charged up when the power's out and the power grid's out. So anyway, so I wrote this book, I want to say 2012 or 2013, and my goal was to get it out to everyone. Unfortunately, Amazon will not let you give the book away 24/7 all the time. The lowest price you can create for a book is 99 cents. So normally the book is 99 cents, but for 5 days, every 3 months, I have an opportunity to offer it to the world for free. So that's what I do. I tell all of my friends that run websites, get the word out, send this to your friends, to friends of friends. I want the whole world to have this book for free. So that is what the book is all about. That being said, there's a lot of things that aren't being said in that book that I have learned since then. Dealing with food storage in a hot climate. It's hot here in Arizona. So, and the pests, the bugs, things are different here. And I've learned things. I've also learned that if you're going to make a cross-country move, hopefully you will not have $1,000 worth of canned goods that are going to cost you $1 a pound to move. You're going to have to give them away, or the stupid people who believe the expiration dates on cans are not going to take them. I threw away $1,000 worth of canned goods because I moved. So if a move is on the horizon, I want to talk about that in the book. So what I'm taking a lot of words to say is I've outlined some new chapters for the book. I just have to sit down and find the time to write them, because let me tell you, being in retirement in and of itself can be a full-time job. But one of these days I'll do that. Maybe I'll start with blog articles. We'll see. If that's something you're interested in, if you've read the book and have some questions, I would love to hear what those questions are. And I'll do my best to address them either in an update to the book or more likely over on the website.
All right. Well, that's very gracious of you to be able to provide that book to preppers or anybody who wants to know more about food storage for free. So thanks so much for doing that. So tell us, where can people find you if they want to know more about you and your writing? Although you're retired, right? But you're still putting content out there every so often. Where can people find you?
strategiclivingblog.com is the first place. And this is embarrassing to say, I have a pretty active Facebook page for strategic living, but I don't have the URL memorized. So if you want to find me on Facebook, maybe you can link to it on the event page, or in the search bar, put Strategic Living Blog, and I should come right up. You'll see my picture. And
yeah, I actually already linked to it in this video, so people can get to your Facebook page, and I linked to the website as well. And on the website, I'm sure you have an email list, right? People can sign up for that, right?
Yeah.
And you also, you said you are an affiliate for Spark Natural. So if you are, I mean, I know that you don't probably don't want to promote yourself, but I will say it that if you know, you sell Spark Naturals, you're an affiliate for it. So if someone is looking for essential oils and Spark Naturals, they can come link to it from your website and purchase it there.
That's correct.
That's good. Okay. All right. Is there any final things you want to say before we close it off?
Yes. I hope you invite me back.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna do that because there's so many other topics that we can talk about, and so I love being able to do this once a month, and so yeah, I definitely will have you back,
Okay.
and we'll tackle some other preparedness issues.
It's been my pleasure here tonight.
All right. Thanks so much, Gay.
You're welcome.